Kohl Children's Museum presents Home Zone, learning experiences you can do at home.
Hello! Welcome to Kohl Children's Museum. My name is Corey, and today we're going to read Iggy Peck Architect by Andrea Beaty. Young Iggy Peck is an architect, and he has been since he was 2, when he built the great tower in only an hour, with nothing but diapers and glue. "Good gracious, Igneous," his mother exclaimed, "that's the coolest thing I've ever seen." But her smile faded fast, as light as wind blew past, and she realized those diapers weren't clean. "Igneous, my son, what on earth have you done? That's disgusting and nasty. It stinks." But Iggy was gone. He was out on the lawn, using dirt clouds to make a great sphinx. When Iggy was 3, his parents could see his unusual passion would stay. He built churches and chapels from peaches and apples, and temples from modeling clay. At dinner one night, to his father's delight, Iggy got a bright gleam in his eye. And out on his porch he built the St. Louis Arch from pancakes and coconut pie. Yummy. Dear Ig had made it until 2nd grade when his teacher, Miss Lilla Greer, was on the first day. She had this to say: "We do not talk of buildings in here. Gothic or Romanesque, I couldn't care less about buildings, ancient or new." She said in her lecture about architecture that it had no place in grade 2. How do you think Iggy felt? I think he would feel bad. That's not very nice. That might seem severe, but she was sincere. For when she was no more than 7, she had a great fright at a dizzy height, in a building so tall it scraped heaven. On an architect's tour of the 95th floor, young Lilla got lost from the group. How would you feel if you got lost? I would feel scared. She was found 2 days later, stuck in an elevator, eating cheese with French circus troupe. After that day, it's quite safe to say she thought all building lovers were nuts. As a teacher, she taught that, above all, no one ought to avoid them. No ifs, ands, or buts. As you might guess, it would cause Iggy stress to hear such terrible talk. But he didn't hear. He sat in the rear while building a castle of chalk. "You, Iggy Peck, your desk is a wreck. Tear down that castle right now. You will not build here. It's safe. It's perfectly clear. Do you need to see Principal How?" "No, ma'am," Iggy said. He lowered his head. His heart sank down to the floor. With no chance to build, his interest was killed. Now, 2nd grade was a bore. After 12 long days that passed in a haze of reading, writing, and arithmetic, Miss Greer took the class to the Blue River Pass for a hike and an old-fashioned picnic. They crossed an old trestle to a small nestle in the heart of a burbling stream. But no soon longer they passed than the footbridge collapsed, and Miss Lilla Greener started to scream. "We're trapped here, oh my, alas, kids, goodbye." Her eyes rolled back into her head. She dropped to the ground in a vague groaning sound, luckily fainted, not dead. The class was amazed. They stood there quite dazed, uncertain of what they should do. But one bright young man was off hatching a plan, which started with Miss Lilla's shoe. Soon each lad and lass there at Blue River Pass was working together as one. And when she came to, Miss Lilla Greener knew that something quite brave had been done. She looked in the air and saw, hanging there, a structure with cable and braces. And on the far side, beaming with pride, was 17 smiling young faces. Boots, tree roots, string, fruit roll-ups, and things, some of which no one should not mention, were stretched on the ridge to ridge in a glorious bridge, dangling from shoestring suspension. It became clear to Miss Lilla Greener as she crossed that bridge over the stream. There are worse things to do when you're in grade 2 than to spend your time building a dream. Now, every week at Blue River Creek Elementary in 2nd grade, all the school kids can hear along with Mrs. Greer how the world's greatest buildings were made. The weekly guest speaker in t-shirts and sneakers talks of buildings from Rome to Quebec. Of course he's the guy who built towers from pie, that brilliant young man, Iggy Peck. So thank you for listening with me. And I wanted to have an extension for you to do. And you can build like Iggy Peck. You can draw like he can draw on paper and pencil. With paper and pencil, you can draw a building. Yeah. Why don't you draw a really tall building or maybe a big castle? Yeah, you can draw. Okay. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.